Hey everyone, thank you so much for stopping back by. I have literally recorded this video like 4 times and I've almost finished each time. And then a call comes through or an alarm goes off. It's just, please let this be the last time I have to record it, right? So anyway, I hope that your week has gone better than this filming session has gone for me. I hope that your transition from January to February was fabulous and smooth and full of ease. And I hope that your beginning of this month has been nothing short of wonderful. It is Black History Month. I've got some fun stuff planned for this month. Check those out soon. But in any case, you're not here for the schedule for the month. You're here because this is a Fibro Friday video and it is Friday and I have fibro, so it's time for this video, right? So a couple of weeks ago, you all saw that I put up a video confirming that I had gotten FluRona, and I will link that video overhead. I got FluRona, and then in a subsequent video, I revealed that there was a little more to my FluRona story because the filming was on different days, and I got a little more information, and this is what I'm following up with, that information that I got secondarily. I had to do some extra research to confirm my suspicions, and they were confirmed. So here we go. I went and I got tested early-ish January, confirmed that I had both COVID and influenza, both. A couple of weeks later, well past the 5-day period that they advise now for COVID quarantine, I went and got tested again. It was about almost 3 weeks later. And as it turns out, I was COVID negative and still positive for the flu. Now, the timing on both should be about the same. So if I should be clear of COVID in about 5 to 7 days, I should be clear of the flu in about 5 to 7 days. Why? Almost 3 weeks later, I was still showing as flu positive. Here's a theory and something to keep in mind if you have fibromyalgia too. We're often told when we are diagnosed with fibromyalgia that first and foremost, it's a syndrome. If you've never been told that, that's what it is. It's a body of symptoms. It is not a disease where it can be confirmed through a couple of tests. It is a diagnosis of elimination. They test you for everything. I do mean everything before they finally give you the label of fibromyalgia. That being said, you'll often go to a rheumatologist first for that battery of tests, and the rheumatologist knows about autoimmune conditions. That's what rheumatology is all about. However, what you'll find is they'll tell you, well, fibromyalgia is not an autoimmune condition, which is technically true because it's not a condition in the sense of other conditions. It's a syndrome. So when you are dealing, and by the way, please note, I'm not a doctor. I have never worked in any kind of healthcare, but I do my own research for me and I use reputable sources as much as possible, though I might dabble into theory sometimes like I'm doing now. Now, when you are dealing with something that is not autoimmune, you will often assume that you're not going to have the same symptoms as someone who has an autoimmune condition. Someone who has an autoimmune condition or that is in some way immunocompromised, COVID is a very risky thing. So is any other virus or illness. It can be very risky depending on where their system is. Well, while you are technically not immunocompromised or autoimmune or suffering from autoimmune conditions purely based on your fibromyalgia diagnosis, you are still someone with a health problem. Your health is still dysfunctional. It's not functioning properly. So we're often told, oh, fibromyalgia was originally believed to be a muscular condition. We found out it's not muscular, it's more neurological. Your brain controls everything, including how your immune system reacts to things. So your brain is still the captain of the ship that is your body. If you are looking at the time frames normally estimated for recovery of certain conditions like COVID or flu, you're going to be disappointed if you're not reasonable with expecting your body to do what it's always doing, which is whatever it wants. Here's the thing. If you are diagnosed with those viruses, or any virus. It doesn't have to be flu or COVID. It could be a common cold. You may notice it takes you longer to recover. That is normal. That is standard, especially if you have fibro. And it's not because you are technically immunocompromised. It is because your body is not functioning at optimal condition and is not sending out correct signals anyway. So when you look at those time frames that are estimated, remember that those are based on bodies that may have been completely healthy prior to being infected, or they could be bodies that have other conditions, but not your specific perfect storm of issues, right? So if you get diagnosed with COVID or flu, my best advice, even though they're saying just wait the time frame and don't worry about coming back to get tested, if you want a negative test, sure, but it's not required because, as the doctor told me, it can kind of confuse things. I was not confused. In any system logging, this data shouldn't be confused, because if you get a positive test, there should be a negative to eventually balance this out. Here's what you need to know. You'll definitely want to check. Give it the prescribed time frame and maybe add on a little extra time for both COVID and flu, and then go back to get tested to see if you have the markers of either one as being still active in your system. Because if so, you may need to take additional precautions. You may need to continue being extra gentle with yourself, especially if you have fibro and you have one of these conditions, because fatigue is very real. That was the one symptom that I dealt with the most throughout this ordeal. So you want to make sure that you're giving your body what it needs, but you can't do that if you are assuming your body will behave like others will, because it may not. If it does, fantastic. But if it doesn't, at least you know that's something that you can expect. You may need to give your body more time. I've not gone back to retest for the flu, because at this point it has been over a month since or just about a month since the initial diagnosis. But for your awareness, please, check it out. If you test positive for either, give it a couple of weeks and go back and test again to see if indeed you are showing up negative now, or if you're still positive, because you may want to continue to take it easy and to continue to isolate somewhat or quarantine yourself, or you may want to continue to be extra selective about who you interact with, even while social distancing and masking and all of that. So that's it. In summary, if you have fibro, these viruses may last a little longer than you expect, and that's okay. Continue to take care of yourself as you have been, and hopefully in time it'll be okay. The best thing you can do is, of course, all the things that we know to do for viruses: rest, hydration, proper nutrition, and not spreading it to others. So that's it. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend. If you have questions, please post them below. And if not, I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.